of you? The chapter we are going to study is elasticity of demand. Students, in demand, we all have studied that a consumer consumes a commodity according to its price. Like we have studied that price decreases, demand increases, or price increases, demand decreases. But this fundamental varies according to commodity. For example, change in demand in case of vegetables will be different as in case of mobiles. For example, if price of mobile decreases, what will be the change in demand? And in price of salt, what will be the change in demand? They both will be different. So we use elasticity of demand to measure how much quantity demanded changes due to 1 unit change in price. Means it helps us to know the degree of change in demand due to change in price and other factors. There are 3 types of elasticity. First one is price elasticity of demand. Second one is income elasticity of demand. And third one is cross elasticity of demand. How much is the change in demand due to change in price of that commodity is calculated through price elasticity of demand. How much change in demand is due to change in income of the commodity is calculated through income elasticity of demand. And how much change in price of one commodity due to change in price of another commodity like substitute and complementary goods, as we have studied in demand, will be measured through cross elasticity of demand. So first we will be studying about price elasticity of demand. It shows per change in quantity demanded due to percentage change in price. In the notes I have not given you this symbol because delta sign was missing. This delta indicates change in price which affects change in quantity demanded. So price elasticity of demand is measured through 3 fundamentals. How price elasticity of demand is measured? As we know that percentage change in demand due to a percentage change in price is called as price elasticity of demand. These are measured through 3 different methods. First one is proportionate or percentage method. Second one is geometric method, also called as point elasticity of demand. It is also known as arc elasticity of demand. And third one is, it is an exceptional case, it is called as expenditure method. So we will be studying these three one by one. First we will be studying about proportionate or percentage method. See, price of necessities like vegetables changes in 2 rupees, 5 rupees, 10 rupees. Price of cell phones changes by 500, 200, 1000, and price of bikes and cars changes in 10,000 and above. So to give them a par value, we use percentage. That is why it is called as percentage method. To know how much percentage quantity demanded changes due to a percentage change in price, then we can bring all the commodities at a par value. So we use proportionate or percentage method. It measures percentage change in quantity demanded due to percentage change in price. See, it is related to law of demand. Price and quantity demand. We know that price increases, quantity demanded decreases, and price decreases, quantity demanded increases. But when price changes by 1 unit, quantity demanded will differ according to commodity. Like necessities will not have more change in demand. Like salt. If price of salt doubles, then also we will consume the same quantity of salt. But if price of gold decreases by 500 rupees, its demand varies in a significant manner. So how much is the change in quantity demanded due to a percentage change in price? That is measured to percentage or proportionate method. So its formula is, this is called as elasticity of demand. Now in board exams, often it is asked that what is the significance of this negative sign? Let me elaborate it. This is ED is called as price elasticity of demand. This is the value which we get after measuring this fundamental. So this negative sign, all of you please make note. This negative sign shows that there is negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. When price increases, quantity demanded decreases, and when price decreases, quantity demanded increases. So due to this inverse relation, we will be getting this negative sign. Often it is ignored, but then also according to law of demand, there is negative or inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. That is why this negative sign is used here. Okay, so now let us derive this formula. Percentage change in quantity demanded due to percentage change in price. Let us understand this by an example. Suppose price of a commodity is rupees 100, and at this price a consumer buy 50 units. Now when price increases to 150, his demand will decrease, so he buy 30 units. See, initial price was rupees 100 and after change price is 150, means price has increased, so automatically its demand must decrease. So when price was 100, consumer demanded 50 units. When price increases, his demand decreases to 30 units. So let us see how this fundamental works. So our formula was percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. So how do we calculate percentage change in quantity demanded from this, and how will we calculate percentage change in price from this? So first we have to find, see, we will give the initial value P1. P1 means initial price, which is 100, and at that price Q1 is initial quantity, which is 50. Means at price of 100 he buy 50 units. Now when price is 150, new quantity is 30. So to measure the change, we can decrease older price, initial price, from the new price. So delta P, which is change in price, will be P2 minus P1, means 150 minus 100 is equal to 50. Delta Q is equal to change in quantity demanded, means new quantity minus old quantity. 30 minus 50 is equal to minus 20. Means when price decreased by 20, quantity increased by 50. Okay, let us move further. Initial quantity was 50 and price has decreased by 20. So 50 minus 20 will be 30. So what was the initial quantity? 50, and how much it has changed? Minus 20. So on 50, quantity has changed by minus 20, so it has become 30. So when we simplify it, it becomes 40%. Now percentage change in price. To calculate percentage change in price, we will again do the same fundamental. Initial price was 100, that is P is 100, and how much price has changed? Price has changed by 50. Price has changed by 50. So delta P will be 50 and initial price was 100. So percentage, for percentage we will multiply it with 100. So 50 upon 100 into 100, this 2 will be balance. So remaining will be 50%. Means percentage change in price is 50%. Percentage change in price is 50%. 150 is the new price and initial price was 100, and percentage change in quantity is 40%. So our elasticity will be 0.8. There is no need of negative sign here because it is implicit that price has increased and quantity demanded has decreased. Okay. This formula can be further simplified. Means our formula can be written as percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. So percentage change in quantity demanded is equal to delta Q upon Q into 100. Percentage change in price is equal to delta P upon P into 100. So we can write it as delta Q upon Q into 100 divided by delta P upon P into 100. Since numerator and denominator both has 100, so it will be balanced. We have delta Q upon Q divided by delta P upon P. It becomes delta Q upon Q into P upon delta P. Since both have delta, so we'll bring it here. There is no need of this, but for simplification only we are doing this. Delta Q upon delta P into P by Q. This is the formula written in your book. It has come through this. This negative sign shows that there is negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. So let us see another examples. See, when we have to find out the elasticity, we can ignore this negative sign. But when we have to find out new price, initial price, new quantity, initial quantity, then we cannot ignore this negative sign. I can simplify it, though that if you ignore this sign, then also we can get the answer. For example, suppose when price of a commodity decreases from 100 to rupees 80, what will be the new quantity demanded when initial price initial quantity was 200 and elasticity of demand is equal to 1. So there must be 5 things and you have to calculate one among those 5 things, that is P1, P2, Q1, Q2 and elasticity of demand. See, P1 is 100, initial price is 100, new price is 80, initial quantity is 200. You have to find out the new quantity because elasticity is given as 1. So we can write the formula. elasticity of demand is equal to delta Q upon delta P into P by Q. As we know that we have to find out Q2. Q2 is equal to Q1 plus delta Q, because delta Q is equal to Q2 minus Q1. Delta Q is equal to new quantity minus old quantity. So to find out Q2, when we bring it here, it will be added into Q1. Means first we have to find out delta Q. So in place of elasticity we can write 1 or minus 1. Delta Q, we have to find out delta Q. Delta P, now see, delta P is 100 to 80. So delta P will be 80 minus 100 is equal to minus 20. So delta P is minus 20. So we can, instead of, in place of delta P, we can write minus 20. Initial price, P means initial price. Initial price is 100. So in place of P we can write 100, and Q means initial quantity, it is 200. So it becomes minus 1 into delta Q upon minus 20 into 2, means minus 1 is equal to delta Q upon minus 40. So delta Q is equal to minus 1 into minus 40. Delta Q is equal to 40. Delta Q is equal to Q2 minus Q1. So 40 is equal to Q2 minus 200. Q2 is equal to 240. So new quantity is 240. See, if you have ignored this negative sign, then also we can get the same answer, because as we have seen in the question that price has decreased, so new quantity must increase. So whatever is your delta Q is 40, means it to increase the new quantity we will add this 40 into 200 initial quantity. But we have to follow the law of demand. When price decreases, quantity demanded increases, and when price decreases, quantity demanded increases. Let us find out whether our answer is correct or not. So delta Q is equal to 40, delta P is equal to minus 20, P is equal to 100, and Q is equal to 200. So 40 upon minus 20 into 100 upon 200. So our answer is 1. Our elasticity is minus 1, means our answer is correct. The second method of measuring price elasticity of demand is called as geometric method. See, it is also this, we can elaborate this through same method of measuring proportionate method, but since derivation is not given in your book, we will find out, means in this we have to measure price elasticity of demand at different points on a demand curve. Suppose This is your demand curve. This is your demand curve. This is point A and this is point B. So there are many points on this demand curve. What will be the price elasticity of demand at different points? So students, in your book it is given a simple formula, that is elasticity of demand is equal to lower segment from the point where we have to measure the elasticity upon upper segment from the point. Suppose this line is of 4 centimeters. Let us suppose that AB is equal to of 4 centimeters. Then what will be the elasticity at point A? So what is the length from point A? So lower segment from point A will be of 4 centimeters and upper segment will be 0. So elasticity here will be infinite. Coming to lower point B. Now remaining segment here is 3 centimeter and upper segment is 1 centimeter. So elasticity here will be greater than 1. At midpoint, that is, this will be C. At midpoint D, elasticity will be equal to 1 because lower segment is also of 2 centimeter and upper segment is also of 2 centimeters. At further point E, elasticity will be less than 1, and here there is lower segment is 0, ED will be 0. These are the points given in your book. Let us derive how this elasticity is measured at different points. Suppose this is your demand curve. This is 100, this is 50. Now if we have to calculate what is the elasticity, how elasticity is equal to 1 at midpoint. So when we measure the elasticity at midpoint, this will also be half of this, means it will be 50, and this will also be half of this, means this will be 25. We have to measure elasticity at point D. Now formula for proportionate method is delta Q upon delta P into P by Q. Let me remind you all, slope of a curve, slope of a demand curve or any curve is measured through this fundamental, delta Y upon delta X. On this demand curve, this is Y axis and this is X axis. So delta Y is delta price and delta X is delta quantity. So slope is delta P Now delta P upon delta Q, and here in elasticity we measure delta Q upon delta P. So we can write the formula: elasticity is equal to 1 upon slope into P by Q. Okay, so delta P upon delta Q, as I have told you, in a straight line delta P up is equal to 100 and delta Q is 50. So we can write 1 upon 100 upon 50, so it becomes 50 upon 100 into price is 50 and quantity is 25. At point D, price is 50 and quantity is 25. So 2 by 2 is equal to 1. Means at midpoint, whether we use this method or lower segment, upon upper segment, we get the same answer. Only difference is that in proportionate method we get the exact answer like 0.5, 0.8, 2, 2.53, 5, 10, etc. But here we get greater than 1, infinite, greater than 1, equal to 1, less than 1, and 0. This was your geometric method. In this, only fundamental is asked, numericals are not as in ISC board exams. It comes in the higher classes in post graduation and all. Now, next method is expenditure method. Marshall has used relation between price and total expenditure to measure price elasticity of demand. What is total expenditure? Total expenditure is price of the commodity multiplied by quantity demanded. For example, when price of a commodity is 10 and at that price of rupees 10 we have purchased 5 units, so price will be 10 and we have purchased 5, means how much is the expenditure done on commodity? It will be 50. So total expenditure means price of the commodity multiplied by quantity demanded. Okay, for example, price of a burger is 50 rupees and you all are 5 friends, so what will be the total expenditure when all 5 of you purchase burger at rupees 50? So price of burger will be, price of a unit of burger is 50 and how much quantity you have purchased? So total expenditure you all will be paying is 250. So total expenditure is price of the commodity multiplied by quantity demanded. So how we measure elasticity of demand? Through expenditure method. There are three basic fundamentals. First one is when price increases and total expenditure decreases, or when price decreases total expenditure increases, elasticity of demand, price elasticity of demand will be said to be greater than 1. When price increases and total expenditure decreases, and when price decreases and total expenditure increases, means price and total expenditure have inverse relationship. Then elasticity of demand will be greater than 1. Greater than 1 means infinity also comes, and all the digits above 1 will be coming under this fundamental. For example, when price is ₹10, quantity demanded is 5 units, and when price decreases to 8, quantity demanded is 15 units. So let us measure the total expenditure. Price into quantity is equal to total expenditure. When price is 10, quantity demanded is 5, so total expenditure is 50. And when price is 8, quantity demanded is 15, so total expenditure is 120. Means price decreases, total expenditure increases. Price decreases, total expenditure increases, then ED is greater than 1. We can do it in the reverse manner also. When price was 8, total expenditure is 120 because quantity demanded is 15. Means at price of 8, consumer buy 15 units. When price increases to 10, he buy 5 units. So when price increases and total expenditure decreases, then also elasticity of demand will be greater than 1. When price increases from 8 to 10, quantity demanded decreases from 15 units to 5 units. So P into Q is equal to total expenditure so 8 into 15 is equal to 120 and price increases to 10 he by 5 units means price increases, total expenditure decreases, again elasticity of demand will be greater than 1. Okay students, enough for today. So what we all have studied till now? We all have studied about price elasticity, types of elasticity of demand, types of elasticity of demand. There are 3 types of elasticity of demand: price elasticity, income elasticity, and gross elasticity. In this we have studied price elasticity of demand. It further has 3 methods: percentage method, geometric method, and total expenditure method. In total expenditure we have seen first fundamental, and the remaining 2 fundamentals we will be studying tomorrow. Okay, so whatever be the doubt you all can ask in the online class. Thank you very much.